Hello, Ghost Hunters! We got a few unexpected changes this week, mostly relating to hiding spots. Check out all of these changes. Before I get into these changes, I would like to say that I think most of these changes came because of feedback from players. Many players were not happy with the changes to the doors, and I'll admit that I wasn't a fan of doors opening in weird ways. I've never been a big fan of game developers trying to force their community into playing the game in a way that they imagined rather than letting players enjoy the game in the way that they want to. Thankfully, Phasmophobia has a great development team, and they listen to player feedback. Because of this, many of the doors that were changed have been reverted to their original position. However, as developers stated, they've now taught the ghost how to properly play hide and seek. They've also now warned us that the ghost will always check behind doors during hunts. So while these spots may still exist, they are very risky. Let's talk for a minute about clutter. Developers have added these clutter spots to several locations. It's basically just junk or moving boxes stacked up to provide a hiding spot. I imagine the developers will change them to look more appropriate to their locations in the future. And in the meantime, they provide us ghost hunters with hiding spots. So let's start with Tanglewood. This house got a few changes. There's an added cluttered spot in the nursery and a new hiding spot behind this plywood in the basement. But the biggest change is to the laundry room, which now has its door here rather than in the kitchen. This is a nice change and definitely feels more logical than the previous setup, and it looks like a little remodeling may have been done in the kitchen too. One of my favorite changes are these coolers in the basement. You may recognize this item from Maple Lodge Campsite. While they may not look special, these items may be essential in your next basement dwelling ghost, as they can be touched by ghosts and provide fingerprint evidence. Edgefield got minor changes with a new locker in the garage and a layout change to this upstairs bedroom. While a small change, this definitely makes this room feel easier to navigate. And apparently, rotating the closet removed a safe spot that I wasn't even aware of. Ridgeview got a major makeover. This location now looks very different than it did before. The kitchen, dining room, foyer, and living room areas have been completely changed. This setup makes much more sense and definitely looks a lot better than the previous. It also provides a lot of hiding spots for ghost hunters. Ridgeview also has an additional locker in the garage and a clutter hiding spot in the basement. Willow Street, which got the most changes in last week's update, got a few changes as well. A clutter hiding spot was added to the living room and this bedroom. The armchair in the master bedroom, which you may have noticed moved last week, will continue to move around depending on if this hiding spot is blocked or not. The hiding spot behind the washer and dryer has actually been removed to hopefully balance out the garage heavy hiding spots. Bleasdale got several small changes, which mostly include moving items slightly or adding clutter hiding spots. I did notice that this room divider in the attic moved, making it a bit safer. Grafton also got a few adjustments, although minor. Of the smaller locations, this one still feels like it needs more hiding spots, as wide open rooms do not give ghost hunters many places to lose the ghost. Of the remaining locations, the prison is the only one to receive additional changes. Lockers were added to both the entrance and the infirmary, and these hiding spots were added to the cafeteria. Other changes that came this week to Phasmophobia mostly included fixes for bugs. For VR players, you'll be happy to know that changes were made to allow you to keep your journal and walkie on your shoulders if so desired. They also fixed the upside down and backward dots and motion sensor, so those should be easier to place now. Dirty water will appear differently to make it more obvious for players. A change was also made to fingerprints, mostly to make it more clear when a fingerprint belongs to an obake rather than other ghost types. I personally noticed that fingerprints on keyboards also appear different. Overall, a lot of really good changes came to the game this past week. I do love that developers took player feedback into consideration and made adjustments in line with what the players want. How do you like the changes to Ridgeview and Tanglewood? Do you like the new hiding spots? If you play in VR, how do you like the changes to VR gameplay? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and as always, happy hunting.